Welcome, and thank you for joining us for today's DealerOn webinar, The Secret Formula for Customer Loyalty and Employee Retention. My name is Eliana Raggio, and I'll be your moderator today. And today's webinar is being presented by DealerOn. For anyone who isn't familiar with DealerOn, we're an award-winning website development company and digital agency, best known for our amazing SEO, the best customer service, and the highest converting website designs in the industry, including the award-winning Chameleon responsive website platform. When we got back from NADA earlier this year, we were awarded the Driving Sales Dealer Satisfaction Award for top-rated websites for an unprecedented 6th year in a row. We also took home the AWA Award for Best Websites for 3 years. And we're still the only company in the industry that offers a money-back lead guarantee program. Plus, FCA announced earlier this year that we're now an approved vendor. Big things are happening over here at DealerOn. Do you want to know more? Yeah, you do. You can check us out at our gorgeous brand new DealerOn website at DealerOn.com. By the way, we're coming up on another amazing Topgolf event. It's next week. It's November 2nd in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. It's Google. It's golf. Let me tell you, it's a great time. Our very own Greg Gifford and Sean Rains are going to be there with some of our friends from Google to share this day of automotive awesomeness. You want in? Just go to DealerOn.com for all the deets. We have a great show in store for you today. We have the one and only Matt Koenig as our presenter today. Matt Koenig is the CEO of Koenig and Buscador de Auto, helping the best car dealers in the world get even better by focusing on generating first-party opportunities and reaching U.S. Hispanic auto buyers. Matt has served in various sales and leadership roles on the retail side of the business for 12 years plus before becoming sales training director for one of the largest automotive groups in the Midwest. A highly sought-after presenter, Matt is a regular speaker at events like Digital Dealer, Jim Ziegler's Internet Battle Plan, and Sales Management Super Conference because his real-world strategies are proven to help dealers make more money. Matt is also the proud co-founder of the Rockstar Auto Conference and the author of the books Winners and Losers and This Book is for You, Stupid. And when he isn't setting the auto industry on fire or making sales tip videos from the road, he can be reached at matt@rockstarautoconference.com. Now, Matt is also putting together his third Rockstar Auto Conference, the only automotive conference in the country that delivers 100% unique content from every speaker every time. It's an educational seminar that feels like a rock concert, and each session is designed to help management and sales professionals increase sales when they return to their dealership. This awesome conference is going to be in Las Vegas, November 13th and 14th. You should be there. To get more info, check out rockstarautoconference.com. And oh, by the way, yeah, you can get a special discount, $150 off by using the code DealerOn. That's good. Remember, rockstarautoconference.com. Now, during the presentation, if you have any questions, please use the question feature located on the corner of your screen to submit them. At the end of the presentation, we'll answer those questions of general interest. If we're unable to get to your question live, we're going to try to respond by email later today. Don't forget, a link to download a copy of this webinar recording will also be emailed to you later today for your reference. Feel free to share it with your friends and colleagues. And guess what? Our good friends at Rockstar Auto Conference, they're giving away a great prize on today's webinar. Not one, not two, but 3 of you lucky webinar attendees are going to win a free VIP ticket to the Rockstar Auto Conference. This includes access to the VIP party, a photo shoot, 12 months of digital access to the Rockstar Auto Conference videos, and a gold level seat at the best damn auto conference in the industry. This prize is valued at $400. It's a tremendous prize for you, and you have to be on a live broadcast to score this amazing giveaway, though. So stay tuned, and who knows, you might be one of the people walking away with this awesome prize today. Also, at the conclusion of this webinar, you're going to get a short survey, so fill it out because we're always looking for quality feedback from our audience. We want your opinion to be heard. And hey, do you tweet much? We hope you do. We'd love to see what you have to say about today's presentation, so please tag us in it. You can use hashtag DealerOnWebby. I'm at Eliana Raggio. You can also hit up Matt Koenig at RealMattKoenig. We look forward to seeing what you're saying. All right, everyone, let's get started. Let's learn the secret formula for customer loyalty and employee retention. Matt, how are you, sir?
I am so amazing, and I just love that you talk faster than the guy from the Micro Machines commercials. That is so amazing.
Well, I just realized we had a lot of announcements this morning, so I don't want to take any time away from this amazing topic that you have. And I got to be honest with you, it sounds it sounds like we made this up. Because really, is there something that you can do to increase customer loyalty and employee retention? Like, can it be that easy? I'm really excited to see what it is because I have no idea what it could be. So Matt, why don't you tell everyone the kinds of things we're going to be learning about today?
All right, so it's all pretend. You're right, it's all made up. No, so we're going to dig into some really fun stuff today, and of course we're going to touch on, the key things that were put out there, right? How do we improve morale? How do we keep people smiling, right? It's so hard. People come in and they've got all this baggage from home or stresses or challenges, so it's very hard for leaders to keep people motivated. So we're going to dig in that today. We're going to talk about how our communication can actually change everything no matter what business we're in, which of course will lead to loyalty. And of course, at the end we'll give away some awesome stuff and we'll do some Q&A. But we're going to dig real deep today on some things that a lot of folks aren't willing to talk about and touch on. And I just want to kick it off with something because I was having, I'm always having conversations with different folks, a lot of times in leadership levels, but a lot of salespeople too. But a lot of times in leadership, when I'm asking people, what's your biggest struggle at the dealership, right? When somebody says, oh, numbers are down, or oh, we really got to push hard. I'm like, what's causing this? What's your biggest issue right now? If you had to pick one thing, what is it? And so often, even when I say pick one, they say two things. One, they go, customers are not loyal. They're just not loyal anymore. And that's why it's just hard to make any money in this business. And the other thing is it's hard to find good salespeople. So today I want to kind of dispel some of the myths and talk about what's real and what's not and how we fix that right from the core. So that's what we're going to dig in really deep on today. But before we do, I think there's a question we need to ask everybody, Eliana. So I'm going to throw this back to you for just a second.
All right, everyone, we only have one poll question today. And you know what? It's on the screen now. And so I need you all to get on board and answer this question for us. We want to know, what do you believe is the biggest reason that today's buyers are less loyal? Please select one of the following answers. Do you believe that it's because the internet allows them to shop so many dealers? They have too many choices, maybe? Do you think that people are only focused on price? Because, this economy is pretty rough. Do you think they just really don't like buying a car? That the whole dealership experience is just not something that really gets them excited? What about, I don't know what you're talking about. We have 100% repeat buyers. Or do you think it's the last answer? Because we as dealers haven't given consumers reasons to be loyal to us. Once we get a majority of the votes in, we're going to close this poll and share the results. Okay, so Nick wrote and he says 3 of those answers are true for us. I am curious which 3 they are, Nick. I only am allowing people to answer 1 of those. So if you want to write on in and let me know which 3 you believe they are, we want to know what you believe is the biggest reason that today's buyers are less loyal. Oh my gosh, Matt, we have such a good audience today. Almost everyone has voted. Like literally, there must be like 1 person out there who hasn't voted. Almost everyone's voted. Audience, thank you so much for your votes. I'm going to close this. Oh, A, B, and E, he says. All right, hold on. I'm going to close this poll, and I'm going to share these results with everyone so we can all see them. All right. So what do you believe is the biggest reason that today's buyers are less loyal? Well, let's see. 21% of today's audience think they're blaming the internet and that people have too many choices. So there you have it. 4% of today's audience say people are only focused on price. 7% of today's audience believe that they just don't like being in a dealership. They don't like that whole dealership experience when they buy a car. No one said that they have 100% repeat buyers, but the vast majority of people, 68% of today's audience, say it's because we as dealers haven't given them reasons to be loyal to us. Now, to be fair, I do want to share that Nick says that although A, B, and E were all possible answers, he did go with E. So thank you very much. And then Brandon wrote in, dealers are always thinking about themselves and not the consumer. Very interesting. So I want to know, and since Matt, you're the one who came up with this question, I want to know, well, what's the right answer? Is there a right answer on here?
The right answer, the real answer, my friends, is that loyalty, whether it's from people that are buying or people that are working in your dealership, loyalty is created by the experience that they have. So E is the closest thing to the most realistic answer possible. The biggest reason that folks don't want to keep coming back to your dealership, the reason that now today you don't hear as many people going, oh, well, when I buy a car, I go see Eliana, she's my car girl, or I go see, I go see, Chris, he's my car guy. Like, the reason that people aren't saying that like the way that they used to is because the experience that they've had was not one that they hoped for. Now, I'm gonna share something with you because I want to say that again. The experience they had is not what they hoped for. Notice I didn't say it wasn't what they expected, because realistically, people expect a bad experience when they're buying. Now, some of you, are maybe going, come on, man, all right, this, like, we all know that already. It's not rocket science. But here's what I want to tell you. And if you're watching this on your mobile device, your desktop, your tablet, take a screenshot. If you've got a pen and paper, I would encourage you to write it down because you're going to retain it better if you write it down. But belief plus commitment equals a good experience. There's a recipe for loyalty, by the way. So I would encourage you to write it down. Belief plus commitment equals a good experience. Now, I know what you're thinking now. Beliefs don't pay bills, right? And as far as commitment goes, we're committed to our process. So I actually, I got a kick out of it. A buddy of mine did a live video the other day. It was Ryan Dunkel, and he went shopping for cars. I don't know if he was mystery shopping or genuinely shopping. I think it was mystery shopping, but because he moved to a new area. But he went out and he experienced stuff with dealers. Okay, now this is someone in the industry, right? So a dealer going out, experiencing dealers. He even told some of them, hey, I've for 10 years been in the business with Toyota. Right? So, and the experience he got, even though he told people, hey, I'm a car guy, hey, I've done this for a living for a decade, they were walking him through their process, right? Here's step A, and you can't do step B until you do step A. You can't do step C until. So what I want to challenge you with today, regardless of your thinking, regardless of your past experience, regardless of what you've been doing in this automotive industry or in whatever industry you're in, is I want to encourage you to just open yourself up to a possible different way of thinking, a different set of beliefs. Because the real challenge is this: you've got to start by asking yourself, right? What are we saying? I'll back this up again. Belief plus commitment equals a good experience. So first thing you've got to ask yourself is, what do I believe about my situation, right? 21% of people said the internet, too many choices, right? That's causing the problem. Most people are saying, interestingly enough, no one typed in customers are loyal, right? Nobody typed that in. And that should be a huge red flag for us right there, because human beings desire to be loyal. We want a good experience. We want someone that we can trust, right? Think about it, take it away from the automotive industry for a moment. Think about it in just personal relationships, right? If you've got a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever, if you've got an important person in your life, you desire to have them be loyal to you, right? You desire to be loyal to them. You want to know that when you go home at night, they're there for you, you're there for them. That relationship is strong. See, innately, we desire people to be loyal to us, and we desire to find someone to be loyal to. But it's funny to me, no one said people are loyal. Instead, it was kind of a trick question, right? What's the biggest reason today's buyers are less loyal? Nobody said, hey, they're loyal. Nobody in the comments said they want to be. We all looked for it. Well, here's the reasons they aren't, which means in our belief system, we've already determined they're not going to be loyal to us. We've already determined the internet is killing our growth, that the OEMs are giving away our money, right? And I'm not saying that there aren't ads out there that are hurting profit. We're not in unicorn land here. But the reality is we're looking for reasons why they're being disloyal, and we're assuming that they desire to be disloyal. I hear so many people, and I'm going to call them managers, not leaders. Okay, I'm going to say that again. I hear managers say this, not leaders. Managers say stuff like good salespeople don't exist anymore. Well, that's not true, because good people exist. And if they have a good heart and they know how to serve people, you can teach them about your product and your dealership. People say stuff like millennials don't want to work. Listen, throw away your labels. Millennials are just human beings in a different age bracket. And then I hear, and this one's my favorite, third parties are killing my business. Well, based on the way based on the way people are saying they're experiencing the dealership, I would say many third parties are the only reason you still have a business. But let's go a little further. Let's go even more to the core of all this stuff, okay? Let's look at what belief means, right? Belief just means this: an acceptance of a statement that's true, or that something exists. So right now, we're subscribing to the internet is doing damage to my business. That's what we're believing. 21% of us are saying, listen, the reason people aren't loyal is because the internet. And we're subscribing to that as a belief. But here's the cool part about beliefs. We determine what we believe. We choose what we believe. The problem is when we believe that something is damaging to us, it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. We shouldn't be surprised that we feel like crap when we go to work because we're telling ourselves all these reasons: the market, the weather. I was talking to somebody, I kid you not, someone in the Northeast said, well, now that the hurricanes did damage to all these vehicles, great, our used prices up here are going to go through the roof because people from the South are coming up here to buy cars. Instead of saying, now that there's a shortage of used cars, the cars that I've had for 90 days that I thought I was going to lose money on at the sale just became more valuable. See, but what we're choosing to believe, the story we're choosing to tell ourselves, is bad news. So the first thing we've got to do, if belief plus commitment equals loyalty, the first thing we've got to do is we've got to stop believing the BS. We've got to stop telling ourselves a story that we don't want to hear in the first place. You know, there's an old saying, right? No news is good news. Well, right now we're telling ourselves bad news. And then we go to work upset, frustrated, angry, and whether we want to admit it or not, we spill that over into the human beings that we meet. And those people, as Google's now saying, they don't buy a car every 3.5 years anymore. That cycle's pushing closer to 5 years. So we can't afford to vomit bad feelings and bad news and bad experiences to the human beings we meet. I had a privilege, a really great privilege, with my friend and business partner, Chris, and his brother, Charles. We went out to Las Vegas just over a year ago, and we had the opportunity to see Tony Robbins and Richard Branson and some other amazing people. And Tony Robbins said something that, to me, was just so powerful. And he said it for years. He said it in the book Unlimited Power. If you own it, it's on page 198. But he said the quality of, I don't know why every time I go to quote Tony Robbins, I want to make my voice raspier and sound like him.
Let me hear your best Tony Robbins.
Yes. The quality of your life is the quality of your communication.
Okay, I got to be honest with you. That was really good.
You know, I aspire to be the first Matt Koenig, but as life-changing as Tony Robbins. But he says that. He says the quality of your life is the quality of your communication. But he goes deeper with it, and that is the quality of your communication with yourself and with others. Let me say that again. The quality of our life is the quality of our communication, but it's the quality of our communication with ourselves and with other people. So if we want to actually make a change, if we want new business, new growth, new experience in the dealership, we've got to first start with fixing the communication we have with ourselves. So we've got to stop saying third parties are killing me and start going, which third parties are serving me best? We've got to stop saying the internet is making it too hard and say the internet has given me the ability to sell cars all over the world. Mike Davenport is a good friend of mine. I was with Mike Davenport in Las Vegas at the Rockstar Auto Conference. No, it wasn't Rockstar. We were out in Las Vegas for something. And someone who actually happened to be from Las Vegas found Mike Davenport online, reached out to him about a car, and Mike says, hey, you know what, I happen to be in Vegas. The guy picked him up in his Bentley and wrote him a check for almost 30 grand. So here's Mike from Kentucky who realizes the power of reach and is selling a car to a guy in Vegas, and the timing was just so brilliant because Mike was in Vegas. Dave Smith out in the middle of Idaho or Iowa, I hear their commercials on XM radio all the time, which I hate because I thought I was paying for radio to avoid commercials, but I hear their commercials all the time. And these guys are in the middle of nowhere and they sell cars all over the country. So we've got to change our beliefs. And in order to do that, we've got to change the way we communicate with ourselves, which then by default, of course, we're going to change the way we communicate with others. But it starts with the story that we're telling ourselves. So we've got to stop telling ourselves that these are all things that are hurting our situation and start looking for ways that we can go, this is actually helping my situation. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So the other thing that's happening though is once we're in the dealership, once we're going, okay, you know what? I know I need better things in the dealership. I've got to make my business better. The next thing oftentimes we do is we go searching for some technology to buy or sign up or use. Now, this may sound weird because I have a company. All of our companies are designed to help people communicate better, but some of them are technology based, right? Doing stuff in Spanish, for example, with BDA Spanish and our Spanish classified sites and our Spanish websites. But the thing is this, and I need this to be said, and I'm going to clarify because I don't want anyone to feel like it's anti-product, but technology will not save you. Let me say this again, technology will not save your business. And now let me follow that up with this. There's some amazing technology out there. DealerOn does, and this is, I don't get anything from them. They're not even sponsoring my conference. And I say this, they make the absolute best, fastest, cleanest websites I've ever seen. There's nobody else that does websites in English as good, in my opinion.
Thank you.
And then it's just fact, my friend. And the technology is great behind it. It really, truly is. That alone can't save you though. Because here's the thing, we'll spend all this money on products and hope a vendor is going to save us and then we sit back and don't get involved. It's funny, but even Steve Jobs said, technology is nothing. What's important is that you have faith in people and that they're basically good and smart. And if you give them tools, they'll do wonderful things with them. Well, one of those tools, and this resonates so much with me, is the CRM. And this is a great example of technology that our industry has relied on to save us with automation, right? So we go out, we got CRMs. I remember having the very first one in a dealership I was in 1995. It was called Autobase. It was a green screen terminal. So weird. But before then, we had a card box, right? We had two of them. One had every customer in alphabetical order, and the other one was the months of the year. So every time you talk to someone, you'd move them back 90 days because that's when you would have to pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, this is Matt. How was Timmy's baseball game that we talked about 3 months ago? Now, here's the weird deal. I had so many real conversations. I knew customers. I would go to the store and see people, and I would recognize them and remember things about their life, and they would remember things about mine. See, back then, we had the faith that if we would have conversations with people, if we would communicate with people, we had faith that they would come back and do business with us. And now we have these brilliant tools like a CRM, for example, that instead of having to write stuff on an index card that, you can't keep 10 years worth of notes on one, now we have a computer right in front of us that'll keep all of it. And we can set a reminder for every 90 days or 60 days to call someone. But instead of doing it because we have a desire to love and serve people, we check a box so our manager won't yell at us in a sales meeting. When we're told, hey, it's time to send an email, instead of taking a look to see what the system's going to send them, we just hit send and we don't pay attention. Well, what if those people came in yesterday? What if we just talked to them about buying a car and now we're firing off an email that says, hey, it's been a long time since we talked. I hope your car's doing good. See, when Apple, which is arguably one of the most valuable companies in the world, right? And as much as you don't like the iPhone, Eliana, it's the top selling phone on the planet. It's the best phone in the world. I win. But when somebody who's really largely in part has made Apple what it is today before he died, when he's saying technology is nothing, that should resonate with the rest of us. Because the reality is faith in people, belief in people is everything. Belief, and I left out the second line intentionally earlier. Belief is trust, faith, or confidence in someone. And here's the thing, gang. We have to have confidence in ourselves and the people that we meet. We have to have confidence that if we do things right, which I'll get into in a moment, if we do things right with the people that are coming in, and not just walking through our door, but the people that are emailing, texting, chatting, if we actually do the right things for them and with them, we have to have the belief, the trust, and the faith that that will pay off. That because we did it right, and the people down the street probably won't, that the folks that we're talking to, I said folks because I know you love that word, Eliana, the human beings that we meet, we have to have faith that they're going to want to do business with someone like us. But there's a challenge, and I love it because someone made the comment earlier, someone commented on something similar on my Facebook, but here's a challenge that we face. And Steve Jobs said this as well. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. So thinking about the dealership, people that come in to buy cars, they're not used to an environment where excellence is going to be the buying experience at a car dealership. They're not used to it. See, they're expecting pain. They're expecting a fight. They're expecting a back and forth. And that's because the leaders in the dealership, well, the managers, are setting that stage. Now, if you're a manager or a leader on this webinar, and you get offended by that, I'm going to say this to you. You wouldn't get offended if you know it's not you. Sometimes stuff rubs us a little bit and we go, ooh, that was a little bit sandpaper on the skin. Like, man, why is he putting us on blast? You know, I work 90 hours a week. I'm here bell to bell. You know, he doesn't know. Well, I do know. I spent a dozen years on your side of the desk. The last couple of years was training everyone from the general managers all the way through to the porters on how to serve people better. And here's the thing. We've got to go back to expecting excellence. Before we put this industry on autopilot, we had an expectation because we didn't have automation, right? So we had an expectation that we had to serve people well because that was the only way they were going to come back. So the question I pose to you is, what do you expect? What do you expect, right? Now, this is going to sound a little odd coming after what do you expect? But Tony Robbins also happened to say this. He said, we'll find fulfillment when we trade our expectations for appreciation. Let me say that again. You're going to find fulfillment when you trade expectation for appreciation. So when I say, what do you expect? I want to challenge you to do a paradigm shift, people. I want to challenge you to stop expecting customers to walk through your process. I want to challenge you to stop expecting them to cater to your business. And I want to encourage you to start appreciating them coming in, right? So we have human beings that email us and we refer to them as a lead. They open a chat with us and we call them a chat lead. They text us and we call them a text lead. They walk onto the lot and we call them an up. See, the interesting thing is we're expecting stuff from everyone else except for ourselves. And here's the best part. Life gets so much easier when we throw those expectations away and we appreciate the people walking in the door. And if we appreciate the people walking in and they have a great experience with us, their expectations will change. They'll start to believe that a dealership can be a good place to go. Now, I said belief plus commitment equals a good experience, right? So what is commitment? By the way, I just Googled them and took the definition off the internet, so I didn't change it or anything. But the commitment means a state or quality of being dedicated to a cause. Now, I love it because somebody earlier, when they said, you know, what do you believe is big reason people aren't loyal? And it's like, because the dealership, right? And I'm going to tell you, I agree. I think that commitment begins with us, right? The days of, you know, hey, are they going to buy today? Did you ask them? Did you qualify them? Are they buying a car today? Throw that garbage in the garbage where it belongs. The only person that needs to be committed is you. I was talking to someone earlier via Facebook, a friend of mine, and he said, you know, sometimes managers, I was doing a live stream earlier, said sometimes managers get in the way, though, of allowing us to serve people well. And I call BS on that. No one gets in the way of allowing you to walk out there and love someone and treat them the way they deserve. Nobody, except for you. Now, when you get in, your manager may ask you the questions. Did you show them the car? Did you do this? Did you do that? Just yes. If you did all that, say yes. But here's the crazy thing. If you care about people and you do it right, you will have done all of those things. See, but belief plus commitment equals a good experience. Challenge is we can change our belief and go, I believe this is the right way to serve people. I believe this is the right way to do it. But then if we just go back to focusing on follow the steps, then we're not committing to giving them a great experience. Then it all is for nothing because belief alone won't change it. But if you truly believe, you're going to commit to doing it right. Let me say that again. If you truly believe that serving people is the best, then you will commit to serving them well, right? So I always say there's only really 100%, but I still loved this image, so I put it here. Here's the thing. In the 90s, I remember hearing Grant Cardone say, give, give, give. Give them what they want. Give them everything. Give them more than what they asked for. Serve them. Now, what that turned into in the dealership world was information overload. Give them so much that they have to come see you because it's so much information they can't handle it on their own. I don't know why every time I get frustrated and I talk like angry dealer, I get a southern accent. It's probably because I'm a Yankee, right? I'm a northerner, so for some reason we think everybody, that's how they talk. But it's not really.
When I get angry, I don't have a southern accent, so I don't know. All right, go ahead.
I don't know. I went to Philly. The meanest person I ever met was in Philly. I thought Jersey was the meanest until I went to Philly, and then I was like, whoa, Jersey people are like Christmas compared to Philly. Here's the thing. We've got to be committed. Okay, first we have to believe that we're not the most important people on the planet. We've got to believe that the person in front of us is actually blessing us with an opportunity. We have to believe that with people only visiting 2 dealerships before they buy, we have to actually believe, holy cow, they only visit 2 and I'm one of them, right? Like this store is one of 2 and I get to be the person who can change their life situation right now. Now, some people are going, dude, I know what you guys are thinking, like, dude, come on. This isn't a hug-a-thon, you can't snuggle people and they'll buy from us, right? I know it sounds ridiculous to you now because I'll tell you, and this is confession time, a year and a half ago, you would have heard me saying some of the same stuff, right? The hustle's 24 hours a day, money never sleeps, you got to be a super strong closer. Well, guess what? I was wrong. And I truly believe, because I've seen it from others and I've seen it with our results, that when you just desire to make sure someone is better when they leave than when they met you, let me say it again, if you truly desire that someone is better when they leave than they were when they met you, you're going to serve them in a way that they have not experienced. And that's going to change their outlook on life. It's going to change them, which is going to result in a change for you. Because just like negativity is contagious, so is positivity. So is positivity. Here's the thing. Belief plus commitment equals a good experience. So if we believe that there's a way to give a better experience to people, if we believe that there is a better way than what we're doing right now, and we commit to changing how we're doing stuff, we commit to serving people, making sure they're better when they leave than when they came in, then they're going to have a great experience. Now, here's the thing. That starts with you actually making that decision, right? So what do I mean by better off when they left? Let's say a person opens up a chat with you, right? And we've been trained, well, the whole goal of the chat is to get the appointment, right? The whole goal of the chat is to get their phone number, get a way to pester the living shit out of them forever. Oops, sorry, living crap out of them forever. We believe, right, that the goal to a chat or a text or an email is an appointment. But really, right now, you've got a human being that took a risk with you. So shouldn't the goal be to serve them? Shouldn't the goal be to make them feel so good that they don't want to talk to anyone else? Shouldn't that be the goal? Now, for those of you that are going, come on, dude, like, all right, this is bologna sandwiches. Like, thanks. Glad I signed up for an hour webinar and you wasted my time with all this lovey-dovey crap. I want to share something with you. There's a gentleman named Ali Reda, A-L-I, last name R-E-D-A. He is on the east side of Michigan. Now, for those of you that watch the news, for those of you that don't, let me share a couple of things with you. Flint, Michigan had the water crisis, right, where basically if you were drinking the water in Flint, Michigan, you were poisoned. You're probably safer drinking the water in Mexico that you were told not to drink. Flint was bad. The economy on the east side of Michigan, horrible. A lot of the automotive manufacturers have moved. They've moved away. There are houses that many would consider mansions that have boards on the windows. So arguably a rough economy. For years, I've heard salespeople on the east side of the state say, every buyer's employee pricing, man. You can't make any good living over here. You can't make money. You don't even get, you're selling 15 cars a month and everyone's a mini. It's horrible. Well, I want to call BS on that because I met a gentleman named Ali Reda, and he's actually going to be out in Vegas with us at the Rockstar Conference. Ali is a man in his mid-late 40s. He doesn't look like Brad Pitt. It's not like everybody's buying from him because he's gorgeous, right? I'm not saying you're an ugly dude, Ali. I'm just saying, right, it's not like because he's on the cover of GQ. If you were to talk to him, you wouldn't say, well, this guy's got the gift of gab. He should be in sales. If you looked at him, you'd say, this is a regular dude, loves his family, whatever. If you ask him, hey, Ali, what's your work schedule? How often do you work? Because you make a really good living. He would tell you, I work Monday to Friday, and I take the weekends off to be with my wife and kids. Then if you were to ask him, what do you do? He would say, I sell cars on the east side of the state. And if you said how many, he would tell you he averages 140 plus sales per month. And when I asked him, what is your secret? He said simply, I just love on people. What? I was like, dude, come on. I'm like, I believe, you got to serve people too, but what's the secret sauce though? Like, all right, you love people, but what's the secret sauce? He goes, that's the secret sauce, dude. It's not a secret. And I'm happy to share it with everyone. He goes, I just love on people better than anyone else, period. And guess what? That's why they do business with me. But I get it because it's risky, right? It's risky to go, I'm going to shift my focus from, I did 20 last month, I got to do 22 this month, or I did 8 last month, and if I don't get to 12, my boss is going to fire me. It's so scary to go, I'm going to dramatically change my thinking. But let me tell you this, my friends, if we go the extra mile, the road's never crowded. See, if you make that paradigm shift, if you make the shift in your belief that the number one most important thing in the world is to serve others, to give them a better experience, to love on them better than anybody else. If you make that shift, I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Now, pause. Some people go, okay, so just throw out the sales process, forget putting people in the CRM. I didn't say any of that. CRM is a great tool. It gives you the ability to know when to follow up because your brain will forget some stuff. So you can put details in there. That's a tool to complement what you do when you get to have a conversation with someone. But we've got to remember, when someone takes the risk to reach out to us about potentially doing business, they could have called anyone else. They could have gone anywhere else. They could have chatted with anyone else. But if we make it our goal to love on them, to make sure that when the chat ends, when the text is done, when the email's over, when the visit is over, their life is better. If we make that our priority, that's going to be a radically different experience than what they will get anywhere else. And if that happens, now you can confidently tell someone when they go, well, I'm going to go check out the dealership down the street. We can confidently say, I understand. Go ahead. Totally understand. And when you get there, I can also say this to you. They're not going to do the things for you that I just did. And they won't after the sale either. And remember this, if they're not willing to do it when they're trying to earn your business, how are they going to treat you afterwards? So I'd encourage you, as you go to the next dealership, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, or Mrs. Customer, or Mr. Customer, whatever, I would encourage you, when you go in, just from step A to Z that you experienced there, just take a look and see how was it compared to here. And I guarantee you, when you get there, it won't compare. And if you've done your job right, folks, if you've really genuinely served them right, they're going to feel it because love wins. Now, for those of you going, dude, come on, that's a little too hand-holdy, little too, peace, love, hippie for me. Let me just explain this to you. When I say love, I don't mean hug every customer. I don't mean try and date them. I don't mean like tell them I love you. I don't mean that. I mean like if you look it up, like the agape love. I mean service, right? Serve. That servant love, serving people kind of love. There's a biblical quote, right? When the Pharisees asked Jesus, like, what's the most important commandment? And he's like, oh, love God. And then he said, but this one's just as important. Love other people the way you love yourself. That second one, whatever aside, that second one, love people the way you love yourself. Right now, dealers, you love yourself. We love ourselves. That's what's important to us, right? I need to make gross. I need to make sales. I need to make profit. I need to hit my number with the manufacturer. I need to this. All of those are I. Well, if you want to start the sentence with I, how about I need to serve people better than anyone else? I need to stop expecting them to buy from me. Let me say that again. I need to stop expecting them to buy from me. Instead, I need to appreciate that they chose me. I need to appreciate that I have an opportunity in front of me right now that another dealer down the road wishes they had. I need to appreciate the fact that this person is in front of me and there's someone down the street who sold 4 cars last month that's probably going to lose their job, and they would love to have this opportunity, but I have it. So what am I going to do with it? Am I committed to giving this human being the best experience they've ever had in their life at a dealership? See, when we trade our expectation for appreciation, the whole game changes. And that, my friends, that trade begins with changing our communication with ourselves. The beautiful thing is when we change the way we communicate with ourselves, it will start to force us to want to change the way we communicate with others. So if you're a leader on this call, if you're a sales manager or you're someone going into a leadership role, once you change your thought process, you're going to communicate with your people better. Now, that doesn't mean you don't ask the questions at the desk, right? Hey, what's important? But the questions may change, right? What's important to them? What made them come here today? Hey, their car's only 2 years old. Why are they looking to get rid of it already? It's a beautiful car. Why would they get rid of that? Like, are you asking them that? Do you care enough to know why? You know, maybe they're in a situation like me. I'll tell you, those of you that are on this call, I made the mistake of buying a brand new Cadillac ELR. Mine has been a lemon. All right. It's been horrible. I would get out of this car. I tried to get out of the car literally 5 months after having it, 4 months after having it. Right. But you know, what's interesting, when I reached out to a dealer to look at replacing it, never once did the dealer say, man, this is a nice car. The thing's only got 8,000 miles. Why are you trying to get rid of it? Instead, they hit me with a lowball number. I was offended. And guess what? I still have it. Still not happy with it, but I still have it. Here's the thing, friends. Belief plus commitment equals a good experience. Let's change the way we communicate with ourselves and others if we want loyalty back. You want customers to be loyal to you? It starts with you being loyal. So what are these 2 secrets? What's the secret formula to customer loyalty and employee retention? The secret's actually simple. Number 1, you have to put them first. There's secret number 1. We've got to put them first. We have to love on them first. That's secret number 1. Secret number 2, we have to stay committed to that secret. That's it. It's not rocket science. We have to be committed to them. We have to love on them. They're number 1. Secret number 2, stay committed to that. And I got a couple resources I'm going to give you guys because I really believe that it's so hard for us to make this shift because I think most people in our industry, most salespeople, most that I've met really actually struggle with belief in themselves. Listen, we're in an industry where we get pounded on every day, right? We get told no a bazillion times. We're also in the only industry that celebrates like if you're closing at 30%, you're a hero. Holy crap. We celebrate losing twice as much as we win. It's just like being a baseball player. What a coincidence. Wow, 300 batting average, you're a hero. Great. You miss 70% of the time. But here's the thing. We are in this situation. We have those experiences because I don't think we're loving on people and caring for people the way that we need to. But I think that's because we don't love ourselves the way we need to. We don't believe in ourselves because we keep getting beat up every day, from customers to our managers who are supposed to be motivating and encouraging us, are pounding on us. But Zig Ziglar said this. I'm going to share this quote with you before I share the resources. I talk to people about the importance of motivation. And every day, every morning, I read something positive. I listen to something positive. I do something to get my attitude and my mind right. The challenge is most people don't focus on motivation until they're in a rut, till they're hitting a hard spot, till they're discouraged. Then they're like, all right, let me Google some Tony Robbins. Let me look up some quotes on Facebook. But by that time, your attitude already stinks. And Zig Ziglar said this: you don't wait until you're smelly to take a shower. You shower every day so you don't get smelly. I'm paraphrasing. But you take a shower every day so that you don't stink. Well, your attitude can stink. And if you're not doing stuff every day to keep it clean, it's eventually going to get stinky. And when you smell in person, other people notice it. Well, when your attitude stinks, people can smell that too. So I'm going to give you some resources here. Called Inner Greatness and the Power of Discipline. If you go to this web address, DealerOn.rockstarlife.info, so not .com, DealerOn, don't go now, the webinar's not over, but write it down. And I know Eliana's going to send out the deck afterwards, but go to DealerOn.rockstarlife.info. You'll enter your email address and then boom, you'll get both of these little ebooks. They're not real long. but there's also some other secret stuff in there for you too. So those are some good resources for you. Some really, I think, really good resources for you. So I'm gonna recap a couple quick things though for you guys before we wrap this up. We have to, in order to grow and have new business growth, we've got to fix our communication with ourselves and other people. It's critical that we fix that. And we've also got to get rid of our expectations. We've got to trade them in for appreciation. We've got to be excited about the people that are in front of us and appreciate the moments that they give us, because we may not get another one. And the only way we're ever going to get people to be loyal to us in the dealership or loyal to us as employees, as customers, the only way is if we commit to them first and be loyal to them first. So here's a few action items you could take. Start every single one of your days with some motivation. Every single day, listen to something positive. Turn off the news. Don't listen to Fox, CNN, HLN. Stop doing it on the way to work. Just stop it. Make your trip to work, make your morning something positive. People say, well, I got to be in tune with what's going on in the country. Why? No, you don't. You don't need to. You never need to have those conversations with people. Instead, start your day with something positive. Number 2, commit to calling every single person that you talk to every 90 days. Now, I say 90-day calls. Sometimes you only get an email. Well, you know what? Then every 90 days, send them a video email. There are multiple resources you can do it. Flick Fusion's got VidMail. They're revamping, which is mind-blowingly cool. You can reach out to me. I can point you in the right direction on that. But make sure you're getting top-of-mind awareness with people every 90 days. Let them hear your voice. Try to hear theirs. If you have a phone number, call them. Put notes in the CRM, and then forget the CRM schedule. Set yourself a reminder 90 days later to call them again. Look at your notes before the call so you can remind them of the dialogue. Hey, how'd football season end for Liam? My son Liam plays football. How did football season end for Liam? How did Jillian do in her equestrian stuff? You know what? If somebody called me 90 days from now and asked me both of those things, my mind would be blown. I would say, well, my son's season ended a couple games early because he had to have his tonsils removed. And my daughter's equestrian season went better than expected. She got a new horse. Normally it takes 2 years to bond with a horse. And holy golden calf Moses, she in spirit actually she placed. She did well. If someone remembered that, my mind would be blown. So imagine the impact you can make on others. And last but not least is an action item. You can start doing this right now today. Make sure every single person you interact with is better off after they meet you. Boom. Eliana, that's all of it. That's all the stuff I have, other than reminding people that if they would like to come to Rockstar, they're about to be able to win some tickets. But for those that don't win, they can also save $150 off any gold or VIP ticket by using the code DealerOn, all one word. And gosh, I really hope that this had a positive impact for some folks today. And now I'm gonna pass it back over to you, my friend.
I love what you had to say. So thank you so much. That was very uplifting. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, audience, we're looking for your questions. You got questions about today's presentation, and or maybe if you want to even throw for instance, at Matt Koenig and say, well, how would you have handled this situation? Well, that's what he's here for. So get those questions in. We're going to get to them in just a moment. Before we do that, though, I do want to direct your attention over to the handouts section of the GoToWebinar interface. In there, you can find 2 great handouts for you. One is Matt Koenig's slide deck. So you can download that right now. All you have to do is look on your GoToWebinar interface. Look for the word that says handouts. It's probably pretty low on that interface box. So find that word that says handouts. There's a little triangle to the left of it. Click on that triangle, it'll open up, and there you'll see those 2 handouts in there. You have until the very end of this broadcast to get those downloaded, but they are available for immediate download right now. The second handout is a flyer about the Rockstar Auto Conference. So if you want to know some more information, you can go there and get that flyer, or you can go online to rockstarautoconference.com. Speaking of, I'm very excited. Hey, we can turn on our webcams now, by the way.
Woo woo!
Woo woo! Okay, so I'm very excited. So hopefully you guys were listening to us talk about the Rockstar Auto Conference. It's that time. If you missed it, well, at the beginning of this webinar, I announced that our good friends over at Rockstar Auto Conference giving away some cool prizes today on the webinar. That's right, not 1, not 2, but 3 of you webinar attendees are going to be winning a VIP ticket to the Rockstar Auto Conference. So all you have to do is get a plane and get a hotel room and make sure you show up. That's all you have to do. It's going to be
And
in
they're
Las
cheap.
Vegas. Huh?
Hotel and airfare are the cheapest of anywhere in the country because
Yeah,
it's
Las
Vegas.
Vegas is easy to get in and out of. So all you have to do is be the first person to answer a giveaway question, and you will win a VIP ticket to the Rockstar Auto Conference. This includes access to the VIP party. You also get your picture taken. You get 12 months of digital access to the Rockstar Auto Conference videos. How many did you say? There's like 16 different speakers. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. 15 different speakers, 16 different sessions. Yes, it is mind-blowing. And everything is stuff you will not hear at any other conference.
I
So
love
it's
it.
stuff that you're going to get here only. Mind-blowing stuff.
Oh,
It
and
really
let's
is.
tell everyone the dates again. It's November 13th and 14th?
13th and 14th. So you'll want to fly in Sunday the 12th, leave on the 15th. And I can promise you this, it's a life changer. It really is.
I love it. All right, everyone. So what I need you to do is get ready, get to your keyboards, and be ready to answer any one of these questions for your chance to win one of these awesome tickets to the conference. All right. All right, here we go. Good luck, everyone. Question number 1. Who do we need to fix our communication with? It's actually a 2-part answer. So if you only have one answer, that is incorrect. It's a 2-part answer. Oh, that's right, Dan Worrell. Dan Worrell, you are a winner, my friend. Yes, you had the correct answer, ourselves and others.
Get it, Dan?
Congratulations, Dan Worrell. I have to say, I don't recall your name coming up on my screen before as a winner. Are you a first-time DealerOn webinar prize winner? Even if you aren't, I still need you to send in. Oh, he says yes, he is. Oh, that's right. Congratulations. All right, so Dan,
Congratulations.
I need you to send me, well, what information do you need from him, Matt? Do you need a mailing address?
I just need his email address, and then what we'll do is we'll shoot him the link to
Okay, I have his
the.
emailing address. All right, Dan, thank you so much. Congratulations. You know what? You're already a winner, my friend. You can sit this one out. All right, we got 2 more chances for you all to win a VIP pass to the Rockstar Auto Conference. So here we go, and good luck. What do we need to trade our experiences for?
Our expectations for.
I'm sorry, expectations for. We're looking for a 1-word answer. Jesse Sanders had it immediately. Appreciation. Jesse Sanders. Congratulations. You, my friend, are going to the Rockstar Auto Conference in Vegas. This is awesome. All right. I also, you know what? I forgot to ask. Dan, Jesse, write in your dealership name so I can give you a proper congratulations, my friends. Okay? Okay, 1 more ticket to give away. This is your 3rd chance to win this. By the way, did I say the answer was appreciation? What do we need to trade our expectations for? Appreciation. Okay. All right, here we go. Last question. Good luck, everyone. To create loyal customers and team members, what must we do for them before anything else? No. And by the way, if you wrote in an answer and it's not the right one, you can just write in another answer. I don't care. I'll keep going until I get the right answer.
I love it.
To create loyal customers and team members, what must me do for them before anything else? I am going to have to give it to Sienna Whitfoth. What a name! Sienna Whitfoth, who wrote in commitment. We were looking for commit to them first, but that was pretty close enough. Sienna Whitmoth, I got to be honest with you. I don't think any of you 3 have ever won a prize on my show before. I think this is a first for all of you. Is that correct?
That's exciting.
Froth. I love giving out prizes, let me tell you. Okay, she
too.
says yes. And by the way, Dan Worrell is from the Maury Auto Group. Jesse Sanders is in, where is she? Jesse Sanders says she is in, she's in Quality Motors in Independence, Kansas. Very nice. And Sienna Whitfoth, I hope I'm saying that right, is in Monroe Dodge Superstore in Monroe, Michigan. Congratulations, you 3. You guys are all winners. You are all rock stars. And you guys are all going to the Rockstar Auto Conference with a VIP pass. Enjoy it. It's a great show. I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time and learn lots of automotive stuff. Now, You're going to be getting that information directly from our good friends over at the Rockstar Auto Conference, so expect that email soon. And now
It'll
for
come
all...
from info@rockstarautoconference.com. So just keep your, make sure, check your, you'll have that within an hour of the webinar close. Just make sure if you don't see, it'll come from info@rockstarautoconference.com. So check your spam folders. But if for any reason you do not see it, please make sure you email me. If you send an email to info@rockstarautoconference.com, just in case you typoed your email when you registered or anything like that, we will make sure you get that today.
Well, like I said, congratulations to Dan, Jesse, and Sienna. You've won a fabulous prize. Now for everyone else, I know we had 3 great prizes today, and you didn't win. You know what? I didn't win either. But you know what? We give away cool prizes every week. So come on back to another DealerOn webinar, and that could be the day that you win a cool prize on a DealerOn webinar. For right now, Dan Worrell, Jesse Sanders, and Sienna Whitfoth are all our big winners today. So congratulations. And of course, we got to say thank you to our good friends over at Rockstar Auto Conference for their incredible generosity. All right, everyone, let's get to some of your questions, and then we will close out the show. All right, so Brandon wrote in nice and early. When you started talking about kindness and loving your fellow man and that kind of thing. And he says, we need to practice the rule of reciprocity. And I wrote back to him and said, yeah, the golden rule is a nice rule too. And really, isn't that what you're trying to say?
It really is. You know, here's the thing. It just seems so, I know a lot of people say, you know, it seems cliche, right? You know, the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. But the challenge is, even when we think of that, it always, right, it sometimes can sound self-serving, right? Treat them nice so I can get. But at the end of the day, what we really need to do is be not doing because, but just doing for the sake of. And if we do that, then yeah, it just, call it law of attraction, call it whatever you want. If you give good, almost always you'll get good back.
I love it. I love that. Okay, so audience, thank you so much to Brandon for that. And get in those questions and we'll be, oh, by the way, Kenitra, she also wrote in when you were on your little, you know, Tony Robbins thing. And he said, you said something good right there. So Kenitra is in full agreement with you as well. And Mike Phillips, he wrote in, but Matt, hugs are free. Yes, they are. You know what else is free?
Hey, listen, if your
free as well, all right?
You can take a hug. I'm just saying don't go creep up on them and snuggle up without permission.
Yeah, don't go Harvey Weinstein on anyone, all right?
Oh, God.
Next one. Just my public service announcement, all right? Don't say anything to anyone that you wouldn't want some big guy saying to you in a jail cell, all right? That's easy, right? Okay.
That's a good PSA.
I mean, if you follow that rule, then you're good. All right, Tim, how are you, sir? He says, great job, Matt. Here's his question. Do you see a trend where the customer wants us to come to them rather than them having to come to our stores?
Ooh, such a good question.
It is a good question because, you know, now that we know Google and Amazon are getting into the mix now, what do you foresee?
So
your crystal ball.
Here's what I'll say. Yes, but here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that that's possible for a dealer to do that. Mike Davenport's a great example. He'll ship a car to someone. He'll bring a car to someone. And I use Mike a lot in a reference today because he's a good friend and I know how he is. But here's the thing. Someone earlier had posted in a group that I'm in on the same vein that was talking about buy it now buttons on website, right? Anybody seen good results with? And I'm like, yeah, Tesla is. Tesla, you buy on a website, they deliver the car to you. If you ever need service, they come and pick it up on a flatbed, pay for a rental. All of that goes into what we could be doing every day. Do customers right now, are they expecting us to do that? No. But some are starting to get to that point. And here's the thing, you know, dealerships are open these crazy hours because people, let's say they work a 9 to 5. So the dealer's like, well, then we need to be open from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock because, you know, that way after work, people can come out and see us. Okay, that's a start. Or how about you just take them the car wherever they are, whenever they want it. Maybe instead of working people bell to bell that are commission only, that you're not paying to be there anyway, maybe let them work whatever schedule that they desire. And if they've got a customer that wants to see a car at 10 o'clock at night, maybe they can come to the dealership, get the car and go show it to them. I believe, and this is my opinion, but I truly believe that the future of automotive sales is going to be one that has a lot more serving involved. I think the way of the gunslingers and the people that are, you know, trying to use BS psychology to trick customers, those days are going by the wayside. They're the cowboys out there, and forget all that garbage. The days of when does the customer want to be served, how do they want to be served, that's gonna win the day. So I would encourage everyone right now, when you're talking to someone, instead of saying, when can you come, I would ask them, would you like to come see it, or would you like me to bring it to you? Now, I realize if they're 10 hours away or something like that, you know, you got to be intelligent about it. But I think that those days are closer than we think, and the dealers that are willing to do that, the people in the dealership that are willing to say, hey, do you want to come in, or do you want me to bring it to you? What's a good time? When can I do this for you? Those are the people that'll win. So yeah, great question. I love that.
Well,
yes.
it's funny, you know, earlier you mentioned Mike Davenport, and it's no secret I'm a fan of Mike Davenport. I think what he does is pretty amazing on the dealership side. And actually, he'll be coming up with another DealerOn webinar in December. I'm very much looking forward to it. But
he's also speaking to Rockstar, by the way.
Yeah. He's really, I mean, he's amazing. He does stuff. There's not a lot of car dealers or car salesmen that are doing what he's doing. But you should see how he goes above and beyond for people, whether he sells them a car or not. I mean, he does stuff I don't know of any other car salespeople that are doing. So, or they don't do all of it, let's put it that way. But you should definitely be checking out, you know, what somebody like, I mean, he's definition of a rock star salesperson.
Yeah, connect with him, follow his YouTube channel. Also check out Ali Rida on Facebook, ALI-REDA. If you look him up and look at his mutual friends, and you'll see my name as one of them. That's the right guy.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I'm friends with him too, so if you look me up on Facebook, you'll find him too. All right, so thank you so much for the great question, Tim. All right, next one comes in from Tracy. This one's a little touchy, all right? He said, Tracy says, if a middle manager is following this love them strategy with their team, but then the general manager comes down on your team with constant negativity and pay cuts, well, how do you counteract that and keep your team positive? Short of my answer is go find another dealership.
Yeah.
Okay, but short of that.
That's a really fair question, and it is one that I've heard a lot. And I have to tell you, and I don't say this lightly, I really don't, but first thing I would do is I'm going to tell you what somebody else did. A friend of mine was a director of operations for a 7-store dealer group here in the Midwest. The owner was a huge figure in the public. The guy was very ostentatious, right? Pound your chest guy, put himself in all the billboards, big, loud personality. He got where he was by being a hammer and making a lot of money for the group. That's how he became a part owner of the group. But he did just that. No matter what efforts they tried at the dealerships to bring up morale, he would come in every month. He would clip the bottom person on the board. Whoever was at the bottom got fired every month. Oh, shit. Every time he'd show up at the dealership, people would hide. And I saw it firsthand when I worked for Cars.com and the group was signing up. And it was Thanksgiving or Halloween. Everybody's dressed up, and a guy walks by and says hi to him. And he passed away, but not the costume guy, but the owner guy. Guy says hi to the owner, and the owner knew him by name, says his name by name loud so the whole showroom could hear it. Goes, don't you effing talk to me. Your numbers look like crap. If you don't sell another 4 cars before the month's over, your ass is getting fired. And I'm like, wow. So how do you fix that problem? Well, the director of operations was just talked to the owner. He said, look, this is your business and your money. And the only way that we can make you money is if your salespeople are creating a good experience for the customers. So if what they did was an extreme PR campaign. They told him not to go into his dealerships at all, period, by himself. And instead, they started taking him around only on days where they were buying lunch for the salespeople. And he would come in and deliver lunch and smile and shake hands with everybody and then leave. Other than that, he didn't go in his stores anymore for about 6 months. Now, that's extreme. But here's what I would say you do in middle management. Go to your general manager and have an honest conversation with him. And no, you might risk getting fired. But if you really know that the place is going to be on a downhill slide, are you really losing anything if you lose work in there? Go to the GM and say, look, I appreciate the opportunity you've given me to work here. I appreciate the opportunity to serve you and all these people. But we've got a roadblock. Because after you come down and crush their heads, I'm cleaning up the blood. And they're dying out there. And their attitudes then get really crummy and it spills over on the people walking in to buy. So can I ask you a favor? If you've got bad news that you're feeling, deliver it to me. Don't bring it down on them. And you in a middle management title, you're a leader. You're in a role. Sometimes those are tough roles because you got to deal with and not let it spill over. So just ask your GM whenever they're in a bad mood, whenever they want to just go piss all over everything, tell them to come bring that badness to you with the door shut quietly, and then you deal with it and you shoulder it. And then you don't deliver it the same way to your people. The morale will go up. Your people will get better results because they'll serve people better. They'll take care of them better. And then ultimately when the GM sees it, maybe it'll change their attitude. Maybe that constant one-on-one will change it. You know what you could do? Do something nice for the GM, even though the GM's being a jerk. Do something nice for them. You know what they like for breakfast? Bring them in breakfast one day. Bring them in coffee one day. Whatever gets them excited. Try and start loving on them. Try and see if you can shift gears for them.
Kill them with
That's all
kindness.
you can do. Yeah, well, my grandma used to say you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. And I was always a smart-ass kid. I was like, I don't want to catch flies. But the reality is this. People are attracted to kindness. They're not attracted to anger and meanness. But the end game, and I'm going to say it anyway, as hard as it is, if it's a sinking ship and they won't change after you've tried everything you know how, if the ship isn't righting, get a different ship. Don't stay on the Titanic. Don't wait till you're like Jack slipping off that piece of ice and Rose is reaching out going, Jack, I miss you. I love you. Just get off.
She
Get on a
let him
different
go and
boat
she would
sail
let him
away.
sit on the door. All right, let's not.
You know, she's a horrible person. She was a horrible person.
All right, but in all
I'm just kidding.
seriousness, Tracy, and anyone else out there who's experiencing the non-love, if you have a work environment that's that hostile or you feel is just not good enough for you, I can't tell you to get out of there fast enough. There is always another business that has a better work environment. Why do you think I work at DealerOn now? Telling
True
you,
story.
and it makes a huge difference to yourself, your psyche. You get better sleep. You're happier. Trust me.
Oh, there is one more thing though, Eliana, and I have to say this to Tracy too. But look in the mirror before you go, you know, oh, it's all the GM's fault. That's a tough thing we have to do sometimes, even when we've got someone above us that's a jerk. We got to look in the mirror at ourselves first, because remember, when we go have that talk with them, they're going to start looking for the flaws with us too, because how we approach people, you know, can become combative, even if it's not our intention. So don't always be like, well, I'm just going to rocket launch out of here. Look in the mirror first, say, is there something I need to fix with me first? Then go have the talk with them and say, hey, here's how we can write this. And if they don't want to listen, then pull the parachute. Like Eliana said, a lot of good places out there that would love someone who actually cares about people.
I agree. All right, Tracy, thank you so much for that question. All right, we have one last question, and then we'll close out the show. First, I want to tell you, Alan was here, and he says, great webinar, Matt. I'm a service manager, and this is going to work great for my advisors also. Thank you very much for that comment, Alan. And
Thanks, Alan.
by the way, one of our winners, Dan, he wrote in, I'm still absorbing, so I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say this was absolutely the best webinar I have watched this year. Great stuff. I'm sure Dan is looking forward to seeing you in Las Vegas at the Rockstar Auto Conference. Thank you so much for that, Dan. Enjoy that win. Dan. Okay, last question comes in from Dara. Hi, Dara. Dara says, how do you overcome the perception from old school turn and burn type management that you are just BSing and wasting your time with customers when building that relationship with them? Oh, I can see that happening. I mean, that these people are still out there in automotive just kills me. I'm always surprised when I see people who still think their best use of money is newspaper ads. So, I mean...
True story. So how do you overcome, if I'm hearing the question right, I just want to make sure I got it, how do you overcome that turn and burn mentality where they're going like, determine if they're a buyer right away, if they're not, blow them out of here and get a buyer?
Right.
Here's how I would overcome that. I would be honest with the manager every time and tell them I've got a buyer, because you do. That's just fact, right? So where
I'm
are
just,
they at? Are
I'm
they a
just going
buyer?
to
Are
tell
they
you
going to
right now, there is
what?
nobody out there who has time to waste at a dealership. If they show
Thank you.
up, they're a potential buyer. Because, look,
Well,
I'm a shopper and I love cars and my husband loves cars and we go to
yeah,
car
but take
shows.
out that
I
word.
would not waste my time in a dealership if I wasn't really interested in buying a car.
No, you just said this. They're a potential buyer. And I'm going to ask you to take one word out of that. Take out the word potential. They're a buyer. Everyone is a buyer. Everyone is. This is one statement that I heard in the 90s that will never go away. And it was actually from Joe Verdi, believe it or not. And I know there's a lot of old school stuff in Joe Verdi. But there's one sentence that has always resonated with me, and that is this. Everyone is a buyer. The only questions are when and who from. So we have to remember every human being we meet is going to, at some point in their existence, need transportation. Maybe today they don't choose you, but guess what? 99% of the people that they picked instead of you are never going to follow up. I'll make this very quick, but I sold I served a person who came in looking at a Honda Accord, really young, it was 20 years ago. They didn't buy from me. They did not buy from me. They went and bought from a place 20 miles closer to them, and I put them in my follow-up. I called them about 3 months after they bought. Right, we had talked. They bought somewhere else. I said, "Congratulations. Sorry you didn't buy from me. If there's one thing I could have done better, what was it?" I asked them all these questions. But 90 days later, I call them, and I said, "Hey, I just wanted to call and check and see how your Honda Accord's doing." And they're like, really good. But when we picked it up, there's one thing we forgot how to do, and I know you showed us how to do it. But I'm thinking they didn't buy the car from me,
Right.
but they were referencing everything as though they did, and I helped them. And I said at the end of the phone call, I go, you guys didn't buy it from me. Remember, you bought it at M&M, which is now out of business, so I can say that. Like, remember, you bought it at M&M, and she goes, "Oh my God, you know what? You're right." She goes, "We haven't heard from him since we bought the car, but we've still got like letters from you and the phone calls from you. I can't believe we didn't buy it from you. I can tell you next time we will." My time with that dealership was 2 years, and I can tell you that their family bought 3 cars from me after that. The husband, their daughter, and then they brought in like it was an aunt or a cousin. So they didn't buy that day, but they did later, and their family did. So something to be said about how do you overcome somebody who's like turn and burn, and are they a buyer or not? I won't say lie because it's telling the truth. Tell the truth to your boss. Yeah, they're a buyer. Absolutely. If we do everything right today, I'm going to earn their business. And I'd leave it at that.
Well, there you have it. I agree with that too. Dara, thank you so much for the great question. By the way, Charity also wrote in. She said she really enjoyed today's webinar. This is Charity at Don Jacobs BMW Honda and Volkswagen in Kentucky. Thank you so much for that, Charity. With that, Matt Koenig, let me just tell you, you're a really fabulous presenter, really great at speaking. Oh, no, we
Shucks.
really are. Look, this is all I
Thank
do
you.
this is what I do for a living. I find presenters and then I rate them, in my own little CRM right here.
Swipe
You're
left or swipe right? If this were the Tinder of
I'm
webinars, I got
totally
to swipe
swiping
right.
right on you, baby. Thank you
Uh,
so much, Matt. Fabulous presentation. I also want to just make sure everyone understands we will be sending you all a link to get this recording. Share it with your friends and families and your coworkers, of course. I don't know if your family wants to see it, but your coworkers, of course. And it's also going to be posted online within 24 hours. Go to dealeron.com/webinars to view our upcoming webinar schedule or access any of our past webinars too. And at the conclusion of this webinar, in just a minute, you're going to receive a short survey. It is so short. It is 3 questions, people. All right, so please fill it out. We're always looking for quality feedback from our audience. We want to know what you thought of today's presentation. Also, I want to make sure you all know Matt is, the 3rd Rockstar Auto Conference. It's the only automotive rockstar conference in the industry that offers 100% unique content from every speaker every time. Educational seminar is going to be coming up November 13th and the 14th in beautiful Las Vegas. And if you want to know more, you can go to the Rockstar Auto Conference website, rockstarautoconference.com, and it is fun. So if you do go, I hope you have a great time. For those people who won those tickets, we'd love to know what you thought afterwards. So please let us know. rockstarautoconference.com. By the way, we're also coming up on another amazing event, Top Golf. That's right. It's actually next week, November 2nd in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, it's gorgeous over there. And let me just tell you, it is a day filled with Google, golf, and a great time. I'm not going to lie. Our very own Greg Gifford and Sean Rains are going to be there
I
presenting
love those
with
guys.
some of our friends from Google also. They're going to be sharing this day of automotive awesomeness. And I know you want in, so all you have to do is go to DealerOn.com for all the details. Trust me, it's a great time. Anyone who's ever been to one of our Top Golf events will tell you the same. And it's not just learning, it's a lot of fun. And invitations are going to be going out tomorrow for our next DealerOn webinar. And I'm very excited about this. It's going to be the first time she will have presented on a DealerOn webinar. So I'm pretty excited because she's a dear friend. How to innovate before it's too late. So what do Toys R Us, Blockbuster, MySpace, Kodak, and Sears all have in common? Well, they were once the most innovative in their industry, but then they failed to notice when something new was entering the marketplace to displace their success. Their stories illustrate how missed opportunities and tunnel vision can send even a mighty enterprise off course, and their failure to innovate should be a cautionary tale for every business to heed. The dealerships that fail to innovate, adapt, or anticipate the future are not likely to remain profitable. With all the technology disruptors happening in the automotive industry, from Tesla and Carvana to the entry of Amazon and Google into the space, let me tell you, there's a real market shift about to occur. Are you ready? In this brilliant and insightful one-hour webinar, the Queen of Auto herself, Christy Roman, is going to be here to discuss how to remain innovative and relevant. Moreover, she's going to share what dealers can do to counteract these real threats to the status quo and keep ahead of the curve. Attendees of this fascinating presentation will learn how to bridge the trust gap with customers, create a more welcoming and educated employee culture, and incorporate other envelope-pushing ideas. This is an hour of automotive awesomeness that you cannot afford to miss. So people, if you're ready to learn how to innovate before it's too late, don't forget to register. And don't forget, DealerOn's weekly webinars are held Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions regarding our webinars and our topics, I'd love to hear from you. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm all over the web. I'm on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, you name it. You can find me everywhere. I'm on all the automotive social networks. Or you know what? You can just email me directly at eliana@dealeron.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you all so very much for spending this time with us today, and I hope to see you all on another webinar in our continuing education series. Take care, everyone.